What's up, everybody? This is Ramsey from Any Day DJ.
And this is Caleb with Salt and Light Visuals. And this is We Are Wed Talks.
We Are Wed Talks is a casual conversation with past and current wedding vendors to educate and inspire today and tomorrow's talent.
We are so stoked to have you hanging out with us today. So let's wed talk. What's up, everybody? We just wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Live Oak Plantation.
The ultimate venue for weddings, gorgeous receptions, and leisurely day of preparation for the entire wedding. Party all in a one convenient location, reducing cost, planning, and stress. They are amazing staff, and they have been so gracious to us to actually allow us to do our podcast here. So we just want to say thank you, Live Oak Plantation. You can find them at
liveoakplantation.com.
Located at 7874 Beulah Road, Pensacola, Florida. Hello and welcome to We Are Wed Talks. Ramsey Coates,
Caleb Cummings,
and today we have the people that let us come into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot and record the podcast. Live Oak Plantation owners, Donna, Joe, and Laura. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
How are you doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well. First off, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's an honor that you selected us. We are so excited to be a part of the We Are Wed Talks.
So, I love stories. So, I want to know the story of how and why y'all wanted to do this. Who's going to take that one?
Well, it was a joint effort. We were, I guess, brainstorming. We have this property, and so many times we would do improvements to it on the land before we ever did weddings, like clearing underneath the big oak trees. And people would say, oh my gosh, can we come out there and take pictures? Maybe can we come get married? So the kids were all grown and this place is huge. And we were like, all we did was work it and mow the grass. And we thought, well, what else could we do with this property that might be something that would be of interest to other people, like weddings maybe? And so we started looking into that and brought some of the people. We Googled wedding industry in Pensacola and just blindly invited several of them to come out here and say, what do you think about this property? Do you think we should maybe consider doing a wedding venue? And they were like, oh yes, this would be great. So that was the beginning, and we love it anyway. We're people, so it all kind of worked together to be good.
And how long ago was that now?
3 years.
Not 3 years ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. In fact, Suzanne Eaton with Miami Wedding Rentals, she was one of the ones that I just Googled and saw her name, and she came out, and her son, Ryan Eaton, was getting married, and he and Jen, that's who his wife is now, and she actually had already placed a deposit at another venue locally, and when she saw this, she said, I want Ryan to get married here. It was the greatest thing ever. So sweet. And the people in this industry are like that. They help each other. She helped us. She put the wedding on. We just provided the land, basically.
Yeah,
and
that
so
was
she was,
before
oh my
the
gosh.
Cotton House or anything.
It was wonderful. So we really learned from her.
Yeah, she really helped jumpstart us into the wedding business.
Okay.
She did.
Okay.
And so many people, like Brenda Caraway, for instance, the godmother of all. we picked her brain so many times. Like we have others, and you, both of you, everybody has something to contribute. Everybody knows a different angle, and we're all in it together. So, if we do it together, we're stronger.
So for people who haven't been to Live Oak, it is a phenomenal wedding venue in Pensacola, and I feel like one of my favorite things is it's so versatile. There's so much here. It's not just the Cotton House. Like you have the Cotton House, you have the oaks outside, you have the lake down there, and then you have in the back, you have the fields back there, which like for photographers and videographers, we love it because it's like this tall grass. It's super cool. So I feel like it's something that like no matter what, it's going to work perfect, because I've been out here on days to where it's sunshine and the wedding's outside, and then when it's raining and it's inside, and it looks phenomenal all the time. And you guys are always, one thing that I love about Live Oak is they're always improving the process. We're actually just talking about that. They're doing some construction outside today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Mm-hmm. Sure, Joe.
Well, this has been one big construction project since we started. And as we would do a wedding, we'd go, wow, we wish we had this, or we wish we had that. And in Donna and my travels around the world, we have seen lots of different venues, and we would say, wow, we need to go back and do this. That's a neat idea, or that's a neat building, or a neat item that they've got. And so we continuously added on to everything at Live Oak. So we get a lot of the brides that have come back a year later after their wedding and go, wow, this looks totally different than when I got married here. because we've added and changed so many different things, and we keep trying to improve it and make it different all the time.
Yeah.
And we're in the process now of adding a deck outside for the men and some additions to make the men more comfortable when they're here waiting on the bridesmaids and things like that. And we've got some other improvements that will be, I wouldn't call them improvements, I'd call them additions that we're planning in the future. But we just take them one at a time and try to perfect that, and then we move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I've seen it from the cotton house to when there was just the beams and everything. And every time I come out here, I'm like, oh wow, look at
Something
that!
new.
Oh wow, look at that! Oh wow, look at that! So that's awesome because you are making the venue better for future brides, and getting better is how you keep everybody happy.
And it's awesome because y'all don't just get stagnant in it, right? You constantly look and you say, like I love what you said, we're always looking, saying, what can we improve? Because at the end of the day, it's about our brides, it's about our clients. And you guys make that like super clear because you're like, what can we improve today for our next bride?
Well, what we always have to remember, to these brides, this is the one day in their life, their one special day, and it needs to be unique and as extremely special as we can make it for them, because this is their one shot to do it. And so we, sometimes we push the vendors, even when they're out here, they kind of look at us like, well, why, I'm contracting with the bride. And we're like, but we want her wedding to be perfect and your vendor working for her. So we're going to help you to make sure you do the perfect job also. And once the vendors have been out here a couple of times, they realize that, and they're like, wow, these people are so nice. They're actually trying to help me do my job to make me look really good. And so then they love coming out here and working with us because they know that we're all on one big team and there's one objective, and that's to make this bride's day absolutely perfect for her.
And we think that's so important. We've actually hired staff to be here to do that, and they're trained in their area of expertise, so that if it's with caterers, you saw some ladies out here last week and you thought it was catering, but it was actually our staff. It appears to be a part of the catering, but it's us. And so we just want to make sure that it is perfect. And I tell this people, all of us, is that we just can't make a mistake. I mean, it seems like it's impossible, but again, that is your wedding, and
there's one shot.
You can't go back and do it again.
Me and Ramsey have this conversation all the time. It's like weddings, it's like you have one chance. There's no redo, there's no makeups. It's just like
kill it,
do it right.
Right.
Laura, quick question. So, you were talking about the guys being here. Can you explain what the process is of like the guys being here and the women being here? Because if I remember right, like they come out here early in the morning and everybody's here all night. Is that how it works?
Typically it does, and a lot of times the bridesmaids, they'll have all their girls, they'll get ready at a salon. We do have a facility here called the Bridal Suite where you can come and get ready, and it's fully equipped for up to like, how many bridesmaids would you say?
If you have a large wedding party, it might be better if they go get the hair at least done offsite, then arrive and finish getting right here. But if you have a smaller wedding party, like 3 to 4, then all of them may come here. But it would be important that they have enough of the artists.
And that's something that I stress, just because I've seen brides time and time again, that when they go past like 4 bridesmaids, they really start getting stressed because there's just a lot of communication that goes on in the bridal suite when they're all trying to get ready, and time does get crunched, and you just see it happen whenever it gets over that limit of people in the room, that it's just, it can be overwhelming. But of course that's not every single wedding, but it is a precaution that we always kind of let the girls know this might happen for you to make it easier for them.
You don't want any stress the day of the wedding, so they try to prepare everybody ahead of time so everything is in order, and
bouncing off of less stress, we tell the guys, just show up with your entire outfit. Because it's like, we've had one guy wearing shoes, tie, everything. Because we've had 2 guys leave either their shoes or their entire outfit on the beach. And so that was like a 40-minute drive going all the way to the beach. If it was 4th of July or something like that, it would have been.
It's not happening.
The ceremony.
That is one common thing that we've learned in the travels that we've done. We always try to make it a point to interview owners of world-class wedding venues, and that is a common thread, that they all tell the men to come ready. They wear their shoes, their pants, their shirt, they can put their jacket and their tie on, because really basically as a photographer, you're aware the minute they step on the property, the photographers are ready for them. They're waiting. And if they have to stop and go change clothes, that's really not fun anyway. So if they just show up, just a lot more relaxed, and then we know they're not not ready with
I
their
love that
missing
y'all
shoes.
recommend that because I
Mhm.
shot a wedding in Oklahoma and the guys showed up and 3 out of the 5 guys left their tuxes at the hotel.
Exactly.
It
It
happens.
happens.
And,
You
Yeah.
can't
and it's one of those
buy time.
things like you're like, come on guys, like
Mhm.
like all you had to do is show up with your clothes.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard.
There is the pre-party before
Yes.
the party, you know.
Oh, yeah. And people always say, "Oh, it won't happen to my group," but they'll. Yes, it will.
Yeah.
It's just an accident. That so.
And part of our challenge here is with every wedding, there's so many different personalities. You get the bride's parents, you get the groom's parents. Sometimes they're real involved, sometimes they're not involved at all. Sometimes the bridesmaids are real involved. And so every wedding we really have to talk about and plan ahead of time, you know, and Donna does this great. She lets us all know, well, this bride's this way and this bride's mother, or this bride's father are this way. And so we're prepared ahead of time. We know who the boss is. We know who we're answering to. We know little quirks that they may have about certain things. Some of them are just really neat freaks and expect everything absolutely perfect, even
Yeah.
from the bridesmaids. So we help the bridesmaids to keep their stuff really neat, which is hard sometimes. And so that's probably the biggest challenge. You don't just show up the day of the wedding and have a venue for them.
Mhm.
You really have to plan ahead of time, talk with your staff, let the staff know what these people expect. And because with every wedding, it's really different.
It is.
And some of them are very high-end weddings where they have spent huge amounts of money and they expect something different than some brides who have a not as costly of a wedding and are more laid back.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for both groups of people, whatever the bride is
Mhm.
like and what she wants.
Yeah, and bouncing off of that, I think a lot of brides, before they actually get into the planning, they don't realize it's a full-on production. And once you start getting into that planning and you have to like nail down different things, you start to realize the full body like experience of what it all means to like get married, as far as just like contacting your DJ, telling him exactly what kind of genre,
Yeah.
to figuring out what your budget is for catering per head. It can be a lot and overwhelming. So seeing it come full-fledged on that day and actually be laid out, it's something that's pretty much impossible to do on your own. So that's really when it comes into play with our directing crew. It just makes it so much easier for
Mhm.
you. And all the questions that you do not know, like, hey, where's an outlet or an adapter for XYZ? The bride, they don't know those kind of answers. So that's whenever they come to us and we can figure it out for them and they don't get stressed out in the bridal suite. So it makes the whole day enjoyable.
And y'all cover just about everything for the wedding. I mean, y'all have like they can rent decor from y'all.
Mhm.
They can
That's
do
Laura's
just
business.
they can just do about,
Yeah.
just about everything with you guys, which is awesome because a lot of stuff they can get with you guys, and then y'all know so many people in the industry
Right,
that
right.
Yeah.
they can just reach out to you
We
guys.
try to
Right.
make it seamless, smooth for them, easy, so it's enjoyable and not
Yeah.
a dread.
And that's how I ever got into the business. It's actually called Pedal and Twig. It's located here, and I don't do anything off-site just because all of my concentration goes on-site, and I keep my prices really competitive. And I do that because I'm here. I don't have to charge to go anywhere,
Right.
and
That's
then
awesome.
I also like include all of my labor costs in my pricing. So whatever you hear, it is going to be the price of what you're going to end up with on your invoice. Which I mean, like everybody in the industry does that, but there's sometimes going to be like the relocation fee, labor
Yeah.
cost,
Right.
storage fees.
Right.
that you
It's a
don't
lot of-
charge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't charge any of
All the
that
hidden
just because
fees.
I have it here. It's easy for me, so I just pass that discount on to you guys. But yeah, it's really nice to be able to just like take my brides in whenever they're even on a tour and give them an idea of how much something might cost for them and give them a ballpark of if they're wanting to elaborate, like it will be this much, but I can also do different decor styles to make it much more cost effective.
Yeah.
Where they can use that money maybe for their catering or for their makeup. So
And one big
really
advantage that I think we have over a lot of venues that we're so involved in it and so involved with all the different vendors that are out here, from the photographers to the caterers, that what happens a lot of times is photographer, I left a tripod. My God, do you have something I can use? Or I need a couple of more extension cords, or the caterer forgot one of the warmers or something like
Yeah.
that. And we have so much equipment here that we're able, no problem, let us run get one
We
of
have a barn
ours.
full of
Yeah.
it, actually.
Yeah.
And so we try to support the vendors with extra supplies, phone adapter cables, speaker cables, extra microphones. So whether it's a band or a DJ, we try to have enough backup equipment so that it's never an issue. And that's one thing the vendors really appreciate about us, is that we're always there supporting them, literally, physically with
Yep.
supplies if they were to run. We've had bartenders that have run out of cups before, and we had to grab a bunch of cups and run them to the bar for them.
Actually, Joe, one day
You know.
during a wedding, they wanted to have a champagne toast, and the bride had it in her mind that she would have champagne glasses, and somehow it was missed. The bartender didn't have it. The bride was so disappointed. Joe literally spent the rest of that day up until the moment he wrote in like a knight in shining armor, champagne glasses.
I literally pulled
He
up in
did.
the back with the champagne glasses when they were opening the champagne.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
had the
wow.
glasses there for them where they didn't have to use the wine glasses. So,
Mm.
so we try to do
We
everything
didn't
like that
charge
that
for
we
it.
can.
We just,
You
made
know.
it happen.
So the wedding we shot here recently, it's the same thing that they're saying is they literally have everything covered. So the bride forgot her actual like hanger for her dress. She had like the plastic one on there, but she forgot her wood one. And the person shooting me was like, "Does anybody know?" And I think you were here at the time. You're like, "I got a wood one for you." And like pulls this like nice wood hanger out, and I'm just like, they literally have like everything covered, like down to a science. And I feel like one thing that I've learned from you guys is pay attention to the details, right? Like the details
Very much.
matter. Pay attention to your process. Learn from your past and like learn where you can grow from. So that's so awesome. So my question for you guys is, with doing weddings, this come up on your 4th year, correct? What is y'all's favorite thing about weddings?
The people, I
Yeah.
think. Getting to know, we really become close with the people that we're dealing with, whether vendors, obviously, we love you, you know that.
Love you.
And then the families and the brides, they're wonderful. And you're also being a part of most people's best day of their life.
Yeah.
And it's a happy time. And it's really great. It really is.
And it's so neat that when we go to the mall, we go out to dinner, or we go for ice cream, for whatever reason we go someplace, we run into these brides and their husbands. And they are always so appreciative to see us and so happy to
and
see
the
us.
extended family as well.
Yes, they just think we're really special, and that makes us feel good. So
Yeah.
we enjoy doing it because really we're the ones that benefit from it. We get so much out of it, and
Yeah.
we enjoy the people. We enjoy meeting new people. We've had people like Martha Stewart's brother out here,
Oh wow.
and people like that are really nice. We've had TV celebrities here. And so you get to meet a lot of different people, and you get to meet them on a great environment. Everybody's happy. It's a wedding, and then they remember you, and they appreciate the job that you've done for them and their family out here, and they, it just follows us for years and afterwards.
And
So.
they really do become family too, in a way, because you get to know their family dynamics in a very short time period, because they're talking to you about timeline, who's going to be walking who. So you really get to know the names, the personalities, and everything. So whenever they walk away at the sparkler exit, it's almost sometimes kind of sad, because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the end of that. And I'm
Right.
not going to be seeing them every 2 months, just
Yeah.
checking in on them. So it really is a rewarding industry to be in if you are considering ever working in the wedding industry.
On that note, what are some tips you can give people who are starting a venue?
Goals, set goals, realistic goals, work, a strong work ethic, because it doesn't just happen. It's something you've got. I can't tell you how many times we've had like just long, grueling physical labor days that and this happens all the time still. It's just, it's more than just a pretty place. It didn't happen. Laura and I and Joe, we built this thing. I mean, literally hands on. We painted with man lift the rafters, all of them. Laura and Joe put together the big barn doors outside. She screwed them all in. He figured it out.
We stained the wood.
Yeah, we made the farm table. So many little things. Just, yeah. It's not instant gratification, but at our age, we started in it very late. So we're going fast. 'Cause, we got, yeah.
Yeah, and being realistic with the entire schedule of it, because I think some people, they see that there can be a good outcome when it comes to salary with it.
Yeah.
But working on the weekends, it can be grueling, because you start to see all of your friends are going on vacations
Yeah.
and things like that. And your timelines,
And
they
you
just don't match up.
you work that week,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
working the
We
weekend.
did.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
Right.
And it can get old, but like
Mm-hmm.
don't think I'll ever leave, because I love it so much. It's
Yeah.
totally worth it.
And I think too that they understand there are so many costs involved, so not to get themselves in
Yep.
it and then they're in trouble financially because
And I love what y'all said too about like how much work y'all actually put in. Because I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, if I owned a wedding venue, it's just passive
my gosh,
income.
yeah.
I just sit around do nothing and just collect this big
Yeah,
old
I-
check at the end of the week." And it's like, no,
right,
like
the upkeep is
passive
a lot.
income owning a wedding venue. That's a joke. Like,
Well, I'm trying to think any wedding venue. Don't get me wrong, there are wedding planners that work with wedding venues, but how involved they are with
Yeah.
the clients and with the vendors.
Mhm.
That's unheard of.
So we all did a wedding last year. It was Krista's wedding.
Or is a jerk to you?
Yeah, Ramsey was like, "Hey, man," and he was like, "Hey." Like, okay, dude, and we're best friends.
So rough night.
But Lindsay Cooey, who was on with us last time, she was the wedding
She's
planner.
awesome.
And I remember, like, I was like, Miss Donna is just here, like, helping so much, giving, like, every little thing. And I was just like, the service that you get here is, it kind of reminds me of Disney World. So, like, you get, like, the step above, you know what I mean? Like, you never see trash at Disney World. You never
We
see
actually
anything.
did go and tour Disney looking
Yes.
for things to bring back here.
Yeah.
too. That was one
Yes.
of the, we actually toured the wedding area too. And it's not just the wedding, everything about Disney. We knew about how to do trash cans where it's not
Yeah.
disturbing to the guests.
Yep.
Just little tiny things that
Wow.
And what we found is and I think of the Disney thing a lot because early the day of the wedding, we will be out here blowing the paths,
Yep.
making sure all the areas have been weed eated perfectly and nothing popped up overnight. Just, if some days, if the wind blew a lot during the night before the wedding that morning, we're out here having to blow all the leaves off the grass and do all that. And I always think of it kind of like Disney World before opening time.
Yep.
They're out there running to make sure everything's
Mhm.
spotless and clean because when the brides show up, we want it to look perfect.
And you all
When they
know
drive
too
up.
that during certain times of the year, these live oaks drop their leaves all day long. And
Yeah.
You could have had bags full of it that morning, and then by that afternoon, they're there again.
Yeah.
So we bought some battery operated blowers so that if it's during that time of day, it's not intrusive to the people with
Wow.
the noise as
Mhm.
well. So we
Wow.
can come in and fine tune again as well because it's not good enough to leave. Oh well, it's just the leaves. We try as hard as we can.
I was about to say too. It was actually at Krista's wedding. It rained, and y'all had the staff here, so like people were pulling chairs in, and then they're putting them back out. Like some stuff they got with, they're like all drying it up. So it was like you could minus looking at the grass. Like if you looked at like all of this stuff, like the chairs and everything, the arbor, you would not have been able to tell. Like, oh man, it trickled down for it earlier.
And you have to be flexible. In a big venue on a large piece of property like this, every wedding's a little bit different. The brides have different requests. And you don't know what the weather's going to be. If it's extremely hot, you may have to change a few things right before the cocktail hour, right before the ceremony. If it looks like it's going to rain at the last second, you may have to change some things. So you've got to be flexible and you got to be open. And Donna has taught me patience because sometimes they will make a request that I think, that's impossible. We can't do that. And Donna will have to say, no, we're going to do it. And we have to do it. And you just grit your teeth and you just
smile.
get to it
And
and
you
do it and smile, and, that's not that often, but every now and then we do get some requests that it's like, I can't believe they want to do that, but we just smile and we do it and we make it work. And amazingly, a lot of times it's like, boy, that was really a good idea she had.
Yeah. And you know
Sometimes
what?
you can't see the forest for the trees
A lot
because
of
we're
the
here all the
things
time.
we're better at because of things like that. We
Yeah.
grow and people bring great ideas, and it's wonderful. It really is.
But definitely say like one of the big takeaways I feel like for today is service excellence.
Yes.
And y'all do a phenomenal
Yes.
job. I feel like y'all are some bar setters in this area with service excellence. So you guys are crushing it.
Thank you.
Hashtag crushing, hashtag
Thank
service
you.
excellence.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't know that those were live oaks, so I get it now. When she said that, I was like, oh, I get it now.
That's the
Ramsey's up
name.
here like, huh.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you so
Thank y'all
much
so
for
much.
being
It's
on
our
the show
pleasure.
and hosting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
too.
Joe, Donna, Laura, Live Oak Plantation. Before we leave, how do they get in touch with y'all on the Instagram, on the Facebook, all that good stuff?
For my business for decorations, you're going to find me on Instagram at Petal and Twig, and that's PETALANDTWIGG. That's 2 G's at the end. On Instagram, you can find me at Petal and Twig, and that's with an ampersand in the center. And then for Live Oak Plantation, you can
It is
find
live
us.
_plantation_ No,
Wait,
how does
live.
It's live
On Instagram.
_oak
Mhm.
There
_plantation.
you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Facebook it's Live Oak Plantation, Pensacola, Florida.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thanks again, guys. Ramsey,
Caleb.
We Are Wed Talks.
What's up, everybody? We just want to take a minute to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Strictly Social. Strictly Social is a podcast production and social media management company. For all your social media management needs or podcast needs,
reach out to Strictly Social at wearestrictlysocial.com.
Hey. This is Ramsey.
And this is Caleb,
Caleb, why you look so worried over there?
because you were looking kind of worried.
You know why I'm worried? Because I want to make sure if they're enjoying this podcast that they go rate and review. And I want them to go rate and review us. Please rate and review us. I'm going to say it again. Rate and review us. Give us those 5 stars. That's why I look worried.
Where can they rate and review us at?
On Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any place that our podcast is at, they can rate and review us.
Even on YouTube.
Even on YouTube.
I bet a lot of people don't know that we are on video on YouTube.
Oh, you better check it out. We are Wed Talks on the YouTube. Can we get some of that YouTube love?
Yeah,
Okay.
we need it.
So rate and review us. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any place where We Are Wed Talks, and on YouTube. And I will not have this worried look on my face.
Boom. Thank you so much for joining us this week on We Are Wed Talks.